How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the BBN, the first episode of the new fall season. We got a lot to talk about today. You know, we got the award show from the summer. We've got a great rundown segment at the end of the show talking about what we expect in the fall. But before we do any of that, I want to see some big swings. Let's get into hacking time.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, but I never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a peace of mind. Seeking to find I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride, and I'm straight. I'm on my way, get up my way. I'm running late, what can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria. Judging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring us. Got 20,000 deep off in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head. Whoa.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am, how could I forget? I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
I'm feeling glorious. The crib looking Victorian. Oh yes it is. You know that we've been going it since we hopped out that DeLorean. Yeah, we went on guard. Things are just things, they don't make you who you are. Can't pack up a U-Haul and take it with you when you're gone. We posted on the porch, my family's glasses to the stars. My grandma smiling down on me like, whoop, that boy got bars. Okay, yes I do. I said amen and hallelujah, let me testify to another morning. I'm on it, won't let self get in my way. I got my breath, I got my faith, and I remember why I came.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am, how could I forget? I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious. We gon' be alright, put that on my life. When I open my eyes, hope I see you shine. We're planting our flag, they don't understand. The world is up for grabs. We gon' be alright, put that on my life. When I open my eyes, hope I see you shine. We're planting our flag, they don't understand. The world is up for grabs. I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am, how could I forget? I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
A lot of big hacks there. You love to see it, but one hack reigns above them all. It's Lane Elder, Inside the Park Grand Slam. Let's roll it.
There you go! Baby. There you go! Go! He ain't getting that! He ain't getting that! He ain't getting that! He ain't getting that! Come on, Lane! Come on, Lane! Come on, Lane! Hey, that's the sun, baby!
Let's get it, Papa!
That's our hack of the week, and now let's real quick move into the weekending recap from the last couple weekends. 18U Cooper won their tournament. They won the championship 2-1 on a great pitching performance by Eric Shredder. A complete game, 6 Ks. He was very, very good. 16U Cooper came second place. They beat the Mo Sox in the semifinal game, and they were down 5-1 with 2 outs in the last inning. They ended up coming back. Josh Gardner walks with the bases loaded to tie the game. And then Jake Madden with a walk-off single. You know, an unbelievable comeback from a team down 5-1 in the semifinal of Sunday games. An unbelievable comeback for them. Great job, 6U Cooper. The Saturday before that comeback, Hunter Hargis threw a no-hitter against the Sox with 9 Ks and only 1 walk. Hunter Hargis, great pitching performance and really a great pitching season for him. 13U Floyd finished second place in their tournament. 14U Kowalczyk won their tournament, beating the Stars in the championship 11-2. On the back of MJ Reed's home run and a complete game by Tommy Filerski. 9U Nixon won their tournament. They won the ship on a complete game by Reed Carlson, who also had 3 RBIs. They won at 12-0 rolling through that one. 9U Nixon, a great season. Love to see all those guys. Now we look forward into the fall. Coming up this weekend, one of my favorite, if not my favorite tournaments is the intramural tournament. You get to see all the guys from the organization mixing it up from different ages. It's a great opportunity for me as a coach to kind of get to meet the new guys, meet the guys from the lower teams, get a chance to coach the guys from the highest teams. It's going to be a lot of fun. You definitely want to be there. And even when you're not playing, go walk around. Meet some of the new players. See what's going on all around the Bears. This is a community. I just really like this weekend. And coming up is the SFL, the hottest indoor league in Missouri, maybe in the whole United States. I love the SFL. That draft is going to be happening next week. The showcase game is happening on Monday. You're not going to want to miss that. Email Rob Floyd and get into the SFL right now. Coming up, we got the award show. We got a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with your summer awards.
When the little guns come, I don't wanna bust guns on the run. When I come with that warrior song, got my back to the sun when I rise, and the one chosen for the day crash. And the warrior song, when the little guns come, I don't wanna bust guns on the run. When I come with that warrior song, got my back to the sun when I rise, and the one chosen for the day crash. And the warrior song.
We can switch it up. We can switch it. We can switch it. We can switch it up. We can switch it up. Like we can switch it up. We can switch. We can switch. We can switch it. We can switch. We can switch it. We can switch it. Switch it. Like we can switch it up. We can switch. We can switch. We can switch it up.
Switch it up like.
It's about to go up. Break 'em like internet. Goofies wanna run up. We leave 'em in the dead. You know how it go down. You know we into that. Trust no one. Guilty till proven innocent. You just made me mad. I'm finna start spazzing. Okay, true that. I feel that heat rising. Throw your ass in the trash. I hate to be trifling, but keep on playing these games. You might just leave life. Can't stop me. Beast mode. I'm too cocky. Leave him scared. I bet he's scared. He's too hockey. Leave him dead right where he stand. Do you copy? You understand? You give his hands a few tries.
Speaker box blast. Speaker box blast. Speaker box blast. Go rat-tat-tat-tat.
Speaker box blast. Go.
Welcome everybody to our summer award show. We just got done with the big summer season, moving into the fall. But before we do that, let's reflect on the hottest performers in the summer. Bernie, kick us off with our youth all-star team.
All right, so for our youth all-stars, behind the plate at catcher, we got Lane Elder. This is also his second time being an all-star. At first base, we got Landon Nickerson, former MVP in the spring, but now he's just an all-star. Second base, you got Jack Dalton. Shortstop, you got Ben Brown. And at third base, you got a two-time all-star, Eric Williams. Robbie, which one of these guys do you want to talk about?
There's a guy on here, Jack Dalton, man. Since we started doing the show and I started looking at, kind of the game changer every week, I kept seeing Jack Dalton's name and I'm like, man, this kid's hot. Man, this kid's hot. And now I don't think he's hot anymore. I just think this is the player he is. I think he is this good. And honestly, he could be a perennial all-star going forward. Bern, who's another guy that you like on here?
Off those 5, I'm going to be focused on Eric Williams. Again, this is his second time being an all-star. Hits the ball extremely hard. Hits the ball farther than maybe any other 13U kid I've ever seen play. He plays great defense at third. He's a middle-order hitter in a very potent Floyd lineup. And I think, in this fall or next summer, he could be a possible MVP candidate.
Yeah, he was an MVP candidate here in the summer, and I think he's only going to get better going forward. What's the rest of the All-Star team here, Brian?
All right, so starting off in the outfield, we got Caleb Canis. This is also his second time being an All-Star. We got Amir Muhammad and MJ Reed for the rest of the outfield. And then at our EH, we got Tegan Kryler. He's a former high select hitter in the spring, now slotting in as an All-Star. And the pitcher is Reed Carlson.
Yeah, I like all these guys a lot, but one guy that I really want to focus on is Caleb Canis. It is clear to me after watching him play and looking at the stats that he is just a great natural hitter. Not a lot of power right now, but he's a guy that I can see developing power going forward. Good hitters, they develop power as they get better, and I could really see him becoming not just a great hitter, which he is now, but a great power hitter too. Bern, tell me about somebody in the outfield that you like.
I'm actually going to focus on the EH, Tegan Kryler here. At the start of the spring, I was like, oh, this kid's just high. He's not going to sustain what he's doing. But throughout the summer, he did sustain his production level all summer. He's one of those players that can also do everything. He plays great defense. I believe he's Dalton's leadoff hitter. He led the team in stolen bases. He's just an all-around five-tool player. Yeah,
you talk about a tool guy. Tegan Kryler is it. He's a guy we've talked about a lot on the show, and for good reason. He is a very good ball player. Now let's move on to the Cy Young Award winner for the Youth Award. This goes to the best pitcher in the youth program. And guess what? It's the same guy who won the Cy Young Award last time. It's Isaac Taylor. There is nobody in the Bears with as low as a FIP as he has at 1.31, which leads by a considerable margin. He's been basically, untouchable. You bring him in, he shuts it down. He's got 9.5 K per 9, 1 walk per 9. He is unbelievable for that Muhammad team. He's their ace, and it's no surprise that he is a Cy Young twice in a row. You got anything on him, Bern?
You pretty much said it all. 70% strikes, 65% first pitch strikes. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, throws a lot of strikes, and that's what you need to do at the youth level to be successful. Yeah,
very, very successful. Moving on to our most valuable player, another guy that we've talked about all season long, and he deserves this award. It's Ethan Brozer. Ethan Brozer, a 1559 OPS, is second in the entire Bears organization. A 629 batting average, which is first in the entire Bears organization by a considerable margin. 47 RBIs, first in the Bears organization. He also has a 5.5% K rate. He strikes out 1 every 20 at-bats. That's 5 strikeouts in 109 plate appearances this season. If you strike him out, you should keep the ball. That's how good he is. He also stole 25 stolen bases, and he plays Gold Glove defense at first base. He is a true 5-tool player. Defensively, on the base pass, at the plate, he hits for power, he hits for average. Bern, tell me something this guy doesn't do.
I think you pretty much said it all. Also a very smart baseball player, so he does everything.
And he pitches. He pitches too. He is unbelievable, the things this guy can do. Well-deserved MVP, and I am very excited for what he's going to do going forward. Now, Bern, let's move over to our high school program. I know you're excited to talk about these guys. Here's the all-star team. JT Byrne, the catcher. Kennedy Floyd, the first baseman. Jake Sinaldi, the second baseman. Ben Eisenhower, the shortstop. And Ethan Brickman, the third baseman. Byrne, is there anybody there you want to talk about?
I'm going to focus on Jake Sinaldi from ATU Cooper. This is a player I saw play a lot this summer as I played with him. He's a great utility guy. You put him in the outfield, he's going to get it done. He'll do his job. Infield, he's a Gold Glover. And then he can go behind the plate and play a good catcher. He had 13 hits this summer also. 6 of which were extra base hits, so about half his hits were extra base hits for a lot of power, and he was a great hitter for a middle of the order for the Cooper lineup.
Yeah, I 100% agree. He graduated this past year, and he had a very good career with us. I'm going to move our focus on to Ethan Brickman. He's a guy, he kind of just does his job. We don't talk about him a lot because he's just kind of in the middle of the order doing his thing. He hit 500 very quietly. He's one of those guys that just goes out there and competes every single game. You ride him in the lineup and forget about him. He plays third base for 15U Floyd. He had a 5.1% K rate, barely strikes out, plays good defense at third base. He's got a cannon of an arm, and he hits for power. He can do it all in the middle of this Floyd lineup. I like this guy a lot. I'm excited to see what he has in store for us in the fall. Let's move into the second half of our all-star team. Derek Hutchison, Parker Fleshman, and Will Elder is our all-star outfield. Nathan Driscoll is the EH, and Eric Schroeder is the all-star on the mound. Bern, what about those guys? Who do you like there?
I actually like the pitcher, Eric Schroeder. another player I played with a lot this summer. His ERA this year, believe it or not, was a .553, which is half a run per 9 innings. He also averaged only 12 pitches per inning. He was extremely efficient, and he could just throw any pitch in any count. He kept hitters off balance.
Yeah, he's got a great, lively fastball. He throws his fastball a lot, and when he drops that hammer on you, you're not expecting it. It's a good pitch. He's a very, very good pitcher. He deserves this All-Star Pitcher of the Award, and he was in the contention for Cy Young Award. He just got edged out, but he's a very, very good pitcher, Eric Schroeder. I want to focus on Nathan Driscoll. I've talked about him a lot. Go back to the first rundown episode, at the first BBN episode, and I talked about him, and he has continued to impress me. I set high expectations for him going into the season, and he's really exceeded those expectations. He's now gone from being kind of a bench player for Floyd. Now he's going to be their 2-hitter in the fall, and he's their starting second baseman. You put him in the middle of the lineup in between Liam Risley and Ethan Brickman and Kennedy Floyd, I think that he could get a ton of runs and a ton of RBIs, and he hits for a high average, and I think the power is only going to exceed. He had an 1,000 OPS this season, and I think that is the mark for him. He could be a perennial All-Star going forward. Now let's move on to our Cy Young Award winner at the high school level, and it is Hunter Hargis. And wow, this kid had some kind of a season. He threw a no-hitter. He had 32 Ks in 24 innings pitched, and a 2.3 FIP with only 9 walks in that time. This guy, he goes up there. The big thing I've noticed from him, I saw Hunter pitch before this season, and the biggest difference is he used to be a control pitcher, now he's a command pitcher, right? A control pitcher is a guy that goes up there and just pounds strikes. Now he's throwing good strikes. You're not going to live at the high school level just throwing it down the middle. Bern, what do you see from this guy?
You talked about his pitching a lot, but Hunter also had a 920 OPS for 16U Cooper, and he plays really good outfield, so he can do virtually anything too. Yeah,
he can do it all. He's a very versatile pitcher, good hitter. I'm excited to see what he's got going forward. Now let's move on to our MVP. Honestly, I don't think this one is much of a surprise based on how much we talked about him, and he sure does deserve it. Josh Gardner, the MVP, with a 1318 OPS, led all high school players. And what I love about him is he's not just a one-tool hitter. He doesn't just go up there and swing for the fences. He can hit for average. He does draw walks. He does get the RBIs in when he needs to. He does it all at the plate. I'm excited to see how he develops as a defender. He's made great strides. He used to be a very bad defender, Bernie, and now he played a solid third base. It wasn't Gold Glove third base. He played a solid third base, and I only think he's going to get better. Bern, tell me about our high school MVP, Josh Gardner.
I saw this kid play a couple of times over the summer. I learned one thing. Do not throw Josh Gardner a fastball. Oh my. I saw a couple balls he hit. There was a fence 410, I think, Chesterfield, and he hit the base of the wall dead center because the kid decided to throw him a fastball, which was obviously a mistake.
Yeah, and we saw Josh Gardner get walked with the bases loaded to walk in the tying run. After teams see him once, he doesn't get a lot of fastballs in the strike zone after that. So for him to have a 1318 OPS while other teams are scared of him is unbelievable. If you throw him a fastball in the zone, he's going to hammer it. He's showed it over and over again. And honestly, Bern, I think this is the start of his kind of reign as one of the top hitters in the Bears. I don't think he's going anywhere at the top, but we'll see what he does. He's moving into 18U this fall. From 16U to 18U, it's going to be a higher level of competition, but I think he's going to show up to the plate and keep it up. So this has been our summer awards. We're going to talk about kind of who we expect to be in the fall awards coming up next in the rundown. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Dylan from 16U Cooper. If you want more information about how to join the St. Louis Bears, contact us at the email below. And go Bears.
Welcome back to the rundown. It's the same crew as always. Kennedy Floyd and Brandon Burnstill, they're here again. And we're going to talk about what we expect to see in the fall. I'm very excited for the fall season. But let's start with who was a summer All-Star that you think will be an All-Star again in the fall. Kennedy, we'll start with you.
I'm going to say Tegan Kryler. He had a monster season for his team. And I really think he could have made a case for MVP.
Yeah, he's very good. A guy we've talked about a lot. And I think he'll only get better. Bernie, who's going to be an All-Star again in the fall?
It's obvious. It's got to be Ethan Brickman. It's one of those players that Robbie talked about earlier in the All-Star show. He's a 5-tool player, hit for contact. He hit for power when he wants to. Extremely fast runner. Plays good defense at third, has a cannon of an arm, and his pitching's even coming along, so that could be an asset of his too.
Yeah, I 100% agree with both of those. I'm going to go with Lane Elder. I think he is far and away the best defensive catcher in the youth program. He threw out 28% of runners at 12U. That is ridiculously high at that level. He hits. He's a catcher that can hit. You love to see that, and I honestly think there's nobody that's going to challenge him at All-Star catcher. Moving on, Kennedy, who is one guy that was not an All-Star this summer but is going to be in the fall?
I'm going to say Thomas Koenigstein. I've seen the guy drop barrel lots. He works hard. He's first guy to hit 100 miles an hour, so, there's only an upside for Thomas from here.
Yeah, 100% agree. I'd like to see from this summer, I'd like to see him hit for more power. He hit well in this summer, but I would like to see him hit for more power. I think that's the next step for him. Bernie, who's the guy who is going to be an All-Star in the fall?
For me, it's Nathan Hargis. We talked a lot about Hunter Hargis and what a great pitcher he is. But don't forget about Nathan Hargis. He might have the best stuff on that 16U Cooper rotation from the summer. He also is a great outfielder defensively. He's a decent hitter. His bat's coming along. Draws a lot of walks. Very smart hitter. But his pitching is really where I think he could be a potential Cy Young going forward.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I'm even going to expand. I think Nathan Hargis might have the best stuff in the entire Bears, potentially. I agree with you. His bat's coming along. He's a smart hitter. I agree with everything you said 100%. I think Nate Hargis could be an All-Star in the fall. I'm going to go with the guy that we almost never talk about, which is crazy because he may be one of the most talented players in the entire organization, and it's Liam Risley. He's the leadoff hitter and starting shortstop for 15U Floyd, and nobody talks about him. He does everything defensively. He can hit. He hits for a little bit of power. He pitches. This guy, there's nothing he doesn't do. He rarely makes a mental mistake, and honestly, he may be one of the most talented players in the entire organization. It is amazing to me that we haven't talked about him before. My pick is Liam Risley. And moving on to this question, this is a fun one. Kennedy, who's one rookie or call-up who's going to be the biggest impactful player on his team?
I'm going to say Ben Eisenhower on 15U Floyd. He had a monster season on 15U Floyd 3. He was a leader on that team, and I think he's going to fit in well with the chemistry of Floyd.
Yeah, talking about Ben Eisenhower, I think the bat and the arm is definitely there. I do wonder where he's going to fit in defensively on this team with Driscoll, Risley, and Brickman across the infield. I don't know if he's going to break their infield, but I definitely think he's going to make an impact in the lineup and on the mound. Bernie, who's your guy?
For me, it's Sam Jones. Getting called up to 14U Floyd from 14U Floyd 3. Had a monster summer season. Every time I see this kid play, there's missiles hit all over the field. He's a very fast, very smart base runner, so he steals a lot of bases. He plays great defense in the outfield. He was a great center fielder on Floyd 3, so I could see him easily fitting in on the outfield of 14U Floyd.
Yeah, and unlike Ben Eisenhower, Sam Jones is coming in as a two-hitter and left fielder. Ben's got to come in and work his way into playing time. Sam Jones is in there as a starter right now. I think he's got the highest chance to make a big impact of any of the guys that got called up. And I 100% agree. I'm excited to see what he's got. I'm going to go with a Bears rookie, Sam Weiss. And honestly, he's got a great attitude. From what I've seen from him, he's one of those guys who may not be great right now, but I could see him being great. And I love the attitude. I love the work ethic. And I think this guy, whether it's the fall or coming into next season, I think he will be a big impact player on whatever team he plays on. This has been The Rundown. We still got more on the BBN. Don't go anywhere.
We rep the South, so what you talking about? I'm not running out my mouth, I know this without a doubt. Cause if you know these streets, then these streets know you. And when it's time to handle business, then we know what to do. Me and my crew, we stay true, old school and new. Many will call, but the chosen a few. We rise to the top, what you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mic, show me what you got. You didn't know that we was doing this.
You're doing an excellent job, buddy.
It's alright. I know you know, I see you smiling at me. It's alright. It's alright. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the South. Here comes the It's all you got. Well, it's alright, it's alright. I'll take your best shot. It's all you got. Well, it's alright, it's alright. I'll take your best shot. It's all you got. I'll take your best shot. Take your best shot. Take your best shot. It's all you got. I'll take your best shot. Take your best shot. Take your best shot. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the BBN. If you've missed any of our previous episodes, you're going to want to check those out and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future episodes. Make sure to leave a like on the video, and if you want to be a part of next week's episodes, send in your best clips, hits, pitches, and plays into the BBN email, and we will see you next time.